To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So today I got chores to do and it's starting to warm up. It's late February and starting to warm up already. It feels almost like spring coming out of that cold spell. We got down to what, -20-degree wind chill factor. We were tied up in this tiny house and it was quite comfortable. We really enjoyed ourselves, but now we can open the door. Of course, we're still running the heat a little bit. I think it's like, I don't know, 40 degrees today, but it's easy to work outside. And we're still raising our chickens. I'm sure you can hear them in the background. Well, we get those 3 or 4 days ago. And my first video, now of course you get videos 2 days after I record them, but the first video that we released of the chickens did very, very well. Very surprised how well it did. So I figure I will continue to talk about the chickens in each video for at least a little bit before we get on to our daily activities. They're really doing a neat job. Well, we got them in our little chicken tractor, and at nighttime we put them up at the top, and then during the day they come down here so they can see out. We've noticed that they really like being able to look out of the chicken tractor. First time we left them up here, we left the door open and they kept jumping up, sitting on the edge here, looking out. They wouldn't get down, well, one of them did, but the rest of them stayed right there on the edge, just kept looking. So we put them down here. I put a little ramp down there today. I was hoping they would go back and forth, but I think they're still a little too small to do that. But as they get bigger, that ramp will make sure they have plenty of space to go wherever they want. I did the math, and if you take into calculation of both the upper and lower decks here, there's plenty of room for them. Carolyn got smart today. We put down the shower curtain underneath it, kind of keep it from scratching up the floor and making a mess. Well, we realized that we were going to have to clean the shower curtain each day, so Carolyn decided to put newspaper down and a few of the mulch, a little bit of mulch, just to keep the smells absorbed a little bit. That'll be easier to clean up each day. Of course, we put the mulch in here really thick up here, but down here we don't have to. It's like their playpen, I guess is the best way to put it. Sure is neat watching them. The yellow ones are very friendly. They're the buff Orpingtons. And you'll see the dark colored one. Somebody said, that must be the black sheep. No, he's not the black sheep. It's becoming very obvious he's the rooster. He's a bully. Earlier today, there was a little chick sitting here in the corner where this one is. They were all laying down. He came and pecked it in the head so he could sit there. He wanted to sit in that spot. So he's a little bully. Somebody came and pecked him earlier, and so he attacked 2 of them. I guess he didn't know which one it was, so he attacked both of them. They're in a routine now. They go to bed at 6 p.m. 2 days in a row now, and they get up at 6 a.m. and they'll help keep the copperhead population down. Chickens are really good at killing baby copperheads. Well, now I'm going to have to go outside and gotta get some work done. As it's getting warmer, I've been feeling really lazy, but of course I've done everything I possibly do. Every day I've been trying to be active. Yesterday we unloaded the truck with all that firewood. We got free firewood from some guy, a truckload of it, so that was good. We got that all unloaded and got the yard cleaned up a little bit. So today I'm going to go down and work, not in the garden, but I'm going to clean up the area that I cut down a bunch of trees so the garden could get more sunlight. So I got to go and get all that cut up. Okay, so this is where Carolyn did her garden last year. Now, of course, she could come a little bit further up here also. This spot is where I started to raise garden bed for her. We may go higher yet, but that's beside the point. We want to eventually make this whole area garden area. But here's the thing. So I'm standing right here. This is south, this is north. So in front of me is east, so the sun comes up over my head and down this way. So right now, the sun is kind of pointed that direction, southeast. It's morning time right now, and it will set southwest. But as July comes around, it'll be more over my head. So previously, we had cedar trees blocking all our sun, the evening sun, all the way up to here. So we were hardly getting any sun, just the noontime sun. Now on the other side of things, we have our wooded area. And we don't intend to cut this down too much. So the morning time sun is still an issue to our garden area. This area we do want to clean up. Right here you can definitely see that I'm going to have a problem in July. There's my garden right here. There's a cedar tree. I've been wanting to keep it, but the more I look at it, I think there's actually two there if I see that I'm going to have to get rid of. So, but in the meantime, I got all this area over here that I need to clean up also. I got a tree that I already cut down. As I've been sitting here, I keep staring at the ground. I keep seeing this on the ground, and I don't know what kind of bird it is. But it appears that some kind of bird or something has been attacked pretty, no, you know, that looks like maybe a rabbit. Wonder if that's rabbit hair. Something has been caught and attacked, and I would like to be able to find what that is, figure out where it was drug off to. Might have been a coyote that got a hold of a rabbit. Could be a squirrel. Didn't think of that. That might be a squirrel also. Of course, if I don't mention it in every video, somebody's going to say, why you cut down cedar trees? They're such a beautiful tree. Cedar trees are good to cut down for the environment and for the garden. First, if you have a cedar tree near your garden, you're not going to have a garden. Secondly, cedar trees are great to make pole barns out of because they don't rot. So I'm actually saving the environment because I'm not going and getting lumber from the store and shipping cost and cutting cost and the milling cost, the whole thing. So I'm actually thinking about the environment when I'm cutting down cedar trees. But this tree over here I'm going to use for firewood, and I just need to get it cleaned up. So a couple things. One, for the environmentalists to tell me I shouldn't cut down trees. If you look back here, I don't know if you can see, but it's overgrown. And what happens when it overgrows like this, especially here in Missouri, you get these grapevines growing on the tree. The grapevines will suck the life out of it. It'll choke it. I mean, I go down in the woods and I cut down as many grapevines as I possibly can. But in the end, you got to cut down some trees so you can get the grapevines out of there. So this tree here really didn't have a chance if I'd have left everything alone, because it was buried in behind cedar trees. I can't get back there. I got to do it one step at a time. So you got to do good forest management. Okay, I'm not sure what kind of wood this is. I thought it was walnut when I first cut it down, but when I got into it, the center of it was totally white, so walnut has a brown center in it. But I've been having a hard time using a chainsaw on this, so I thought my chain was dull when I put it away last time. But I sharpened it today, and it actually didn't feel like it needed sharpening. Well, today the chain still felt pretty dull, so I was thinking this got to be some really hard wood. I don't know what it is. Maybe hickory? I don't know. Give you a closer look at it. There's the bark, and that's the inside. But I've not seen this on my property the whole time I've been here until now. I don't know what this is. So I'm feeling pretty good that I'm getting this cleaned up. I'm going to leave this cedar tree. I keep going back and forth on the cedar tree. It's cleaner enough up here now that if I have to cut it down in the summertime, you know, we can keep an eye on the sun. And if the sun starts getting shaded by that cedar tree, I can cut it down at that time. It's clean enough now that the copperheads shouldn't bother me. Of course, it'll be real hot out when I have to do it, but I don't need to just prematurely cut it down just yet. But I do need to start worrying about this area before everything gets choked up. You can see back here that you can't even walk through it. It's just terrible. You know, a while back I had someone threaten me, and I think they actually did. They said they were going to call the EPA on me, the Environmental Protection Agency, because I was destroying the forest, killing the wildlife and the birds. What about the woodpeckers? They don't have anything to eat. I think some environmentalists go overboard. I'm not saying they're wrong. You know, I don't want to damage the environment. I'm the first one to say, hey, whoa, what are you doing? Why are you, deforesting? I don't want to damage the forest, but I do want it to thrive. You know, when I go down here and cut a tree, I always cut a twin. And a twin is when you have two trees coming off the same base. And what happens is one of the trees will starve out the other one. You try to find the trees that are the most unhealthy and try to save the trees that have a chance of being saved. And that's what I'm doing here. And you can't even have a garden. I mean, think about that. We're talking about an environmentalist saying I'm hurting the environment, but I'm trying to protect the environment by growing my own food. I don't have to have food shipped. I don't need all those chemicals in the ground. I don't have to drive to the store. Think about all the resources it takes for me to go buy some food. Or I can just plant my own seeds and eat my own food. So I hope I can inspire you to think about nature and how you can help improve it when you live your dream. Thanks for watching.